welcome to another edition of Davey Black TV. I'm joined here by, how would I describe you? How would the group describe Maike? Probably just an absolute machine, I would say, but probably, what's the word I'm looking for?
I don't know.
Like, it's not subtle. No, you fly under the radar in terms of like just how hard you train and your results. I'll find the word I'm looking for and edit that back in. But anyway, welcome to this episode. I'm pronouncing your name right, I'm sure. Otherwise, you would have told me.
Say again.
Maike.
It's pretty good. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. No, it's actually You're one of the only ones probably you can.
So what's the correct? Because I'm sure they see your name come up and they have a go.
Anything from Maike, Mika, Mike. Michael is a really popular one.
Michael.
They call me Michael. Yeah.
Do you? Okay. Yeah, right.
Mika. When you remember Mika, that singer?
Ages
ago?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was like when I was in the UK. They would all call me Mika.
Okay.
Or Javi can't even pronounce my name. He says something like, I don't even know. He says, I don't even know how to say it. It's definitely
it's
incorrect.
Wrong.
Yeah.
You're hearing it's wrong.
Yeah, you can't say it.
So for the record,
my husband can't pronounce my name.
But for the record, how do you pronounce your own name?
Maike.
Maike.
It's pretty good.
Yeah, unfortunately I've got that Aussie nasal sort of accent. That's as good as I'm going to do, I think.
Well, for a long time, one of my work colleagues, I always thought he called me mate. Because he would always say in the morning, hey mate. And I'm like, okay, whatever. Hey mate. And then eventually in a meeting, he's like, yeah, and mate is not going to...
It's not going well. That's hilarious.
I'm like, what? And then he was afterwards. He was very embarrassed. He was no, I thought that's how you pronounce it. And nah.
Very good.
I've always, I guess, ran, but not competitively, and I've always been a very active person. Used to play handball, European handball, when I was younger. But in regard to triathlon, it's a funny story because my brother used to do triathlons like Ironman. Quite a few, and I always thought this was a complete and utter nutter.
You're pretty much right.
I never thought I'd be like, you're crazy, man, like this is just ridiculous what you're doing. And then Javier did the corporate triathlon maybe in 2011 or so, or even 2010. Yep. And even though it's obviously super short, I still thought it was a nutter. And I was I will never, ever do anything like that.
And that was his first experience, your partner?
Yeah, exactly.
That was his first try.
And then the following year, my work organised. I was participating in the corporate triathlon, so I was like, why not? I had my hybrid mountain bike / I don't know what bike, like super heavy, big tires.
Can imagine,
and it got me hooked. And I remember cycling back home from Elwood, and there was a guy overtaking me on his road bike, and he's like, "So how did you go?" And I was like, "Oh, this was really fun. I want to do another one." And he's like, yeah, but not on this bike.
Yeah, right.
So 2 weeks later, I had a road bike.
Oh, nice. So that was it. You were hooked from that. Yeah, okay.
It's all about organising yourself. So a few people know that Javier likes to ride his bike as well. So we've got a roster. Like, we really do.
Yeah. Is it like every week you sit down and you work out your roster?
No, it's a continuous roster.
Okay.
So I get Monday, Wednesday early mornings, and then I run Tuesday and Thursday with the kids later on in the day, and Javi gets Tuesday, Thursday, Friday morning. Nice. And on weekends we take it in turns as well. So one person gets the Saturday morning, the other one gets Saturday afternoon when Noah's asleep, and then Sunday vice versa. Okay. So it's all planned out.
Yeah, good.
And if someone is too tired to get out of bed, well, you lost your chance, you lost your spot. So next day the other person, it's their turn.
Too bad. Yeah, right.
So Zoe, who's 4.5, and Noah, who's 2.5.
Oh, nice one. So,
done and dusted.
Done and dusted, that's it.
Because it gets too hard logistically. Like, how am I going to run with 3 kids?
Yeah, exactly. You do an incredible job.
I was worried you would ask that. The philosophy is no regrets.
Okay.
Like, whatever you do, don't have any regrets. Even if it's a challenging situation, or you know, combined with like some, I don't know, disappointment or whatever it is, you always learn from it. And I'm a strong believer in all experiences make you into the person, or shape you into the particular person you are. And yeah, I mean, I honestly can't say I have anything to regret.
Yep.
I would do everything exactly the same way I did it. So yeah, that would be my motto.
Perfect. What were they like?
They were actually really fun.
Yeah.
I remember laughing a lot. I had a group of friends, like 3-4 girls. We were quite close, and then like a larger group as well. And it was jam-packed with laughter. In Germany, we're lucky that we only have half day worth of school.
Okay.
So I was very highly involved in horseback riding and playing handball and running. So I was every afternoon. After like, schoolwork was done, I was out mainly in the stables really, and continued. I was supporting a show jumping stable, so I was every weekend I was just busy with horses, and when the horses were done I would go play handball. So yeah, it's always been like that. I hate sitting down and doing nothing.
It's always competitive, always sporty. Not
necessarily competitive. I mean, I did play handball competitively, but to me it's more about my personal performance. I don't care so much about how much I'm scoring or anything like that. It's more, did I play well in that particular game? And with the horses as well, like I actually never really had that much interest in competing myself. I was just supporting the people who did. So.
What's harder to organise and look after, horses or children?
Children.
Because horses are pretty full on, as we know, but I guess you can put them in a stable and go and do other things.
Yeah. No, definitely kids. Obviously, quite very sort of good athletes and competitive athletes, but no one really takes themselves too seriously.
Yeah.
And everyone still remembers what it's like to have fun and to have a few days off and have a drink or whatever, and not be too focused on triathlon as a whole, and still remember other aspects in their lives. So that's why I quite like the squad.
Okay, yeah, it can be quite an all-consuming sport, so that sort of variety and the mix of people works well for you.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, exactly. Life is not all about triathlon. It's just it may come as a shock, but we've all got to remember that from time to time, don't we?
That's true.
Yeah, nice.
We started cutting out on meat over the last year a lot, so we probably would have meat maybe once a week or so, and a bit more fish orientated, just from an environmental point of view. But also we felt like every time we ate a lot of meat, just our bodies just struggle to digest.
Yep.
And then of course I watched the Game Changers.
Oh, there we go. I was waiting for it.
And that kind of was the coffin in the nail. No, the nail in the coffin. And I thought, you know what, that sounds really convincing. I mean, to be fair, I haven't done any more research into this field, so who knows how evidence-based that really is. However, it kind of totally made sense to me in a lot of aspects, and given that I do feel better in myself when I eat vegetables instead of having a heavy heavy based meat heavy based meal. So I've started to not eat meat.
Okay. Wow.
Is someone I want to understand a bit better. So there's people like, for instance, the Dalai Lama. I'm not sure if I wanted to have a certain discussion with the Dalai Lama, but I find him highly interesting. Yeah. And I would love to meet him and have a chat.
Okay.
Same goes for Angela Merkel. I have absolutely no clue about politics, but I still find her a very interesting personality. Yep. So I'd love to chat to her and maybe understand what she does in her private life.
Okay. Who's she? I don't know.
Oh!
I don't know.
Angela Merkel.
I've never heard of her. Sorry. I was going to wait till after.
I'm not going to take this one out.
I was going to wait till after. I thought, maybe there's someone else who doesn't know.
It's a German Chancellor.
Okay. Yeah, right. No idea. Oh, that's good.
You do watch the news, yeah?
Yeah, a little bit.
Okay, that's fine.
Okay, that's two.
And the third person is maybe a bit of a surprise, but I think I would like to meet Michael Jackson.
Okay.
Because for the same reason, like he's been portrayed in the media so many different ways, and there's so many rumors about his life and his sexuality and about everything. And I would just like to have a chat and see what he's in or was in real life.
Yeah, perfect.
Yeah.
Wonder if he could get the Dalai Lama up for a dance. You've got, like, that'd be a really interesting conversation, actually. But assuming 3 different personality types.
Yeah.
Very good. One of the things I love about doing this is learning things that I don't necessarily know, or we don't know about you more widely. Is there anything there that we don't know that we should?
Not sure if you should know, but I used to sing in a band for quite some time. Yeah.
There we go.
So I used to sing in a choir for a very long time, and then when I finished school, we had like a school band, I suppose, and we were quite, I don't want to say successful, but we did quite okay, and then we just continued for a few years, but then everyone went off studying and going overseas.
Okay.
So we kind of fell apart.
Yeah.
But yeah. So
all right.
that's probably something not many people know.
The next question from that: Can you sing us? Can you sing us a song?
No.
I was worth a try.
No chance.
Not
on camera.
What sort of band or choir was it like? Is it? I mean, I that picture in my head then goes to singing really high and those sorts of things. But is it a bit more to it than that, or?
Well, the choir was apart from it was part of a traditional sort of middle-aged sort of people singing.
Yeah,
I don't know if that makes sense. Like classic sort of music, whereas us because we were a younger bunch, there were different medleys, like there could be like a Queen medley in there,
nice.
Or a Disney medley or whatever. So it was quite modern. Some often mainly in English, but could be in Spanish or Italian as well. So a bit more pop oriented. And the band was a pure cover band. So
okay.
Anything.
Yeah, right. That's awesome. Well, that's a goal. Is to get Maike to sing. Yeah. Thanks for inviting me here and having a bit of a chat. No problems. It's a pleasure to train with you, and you've been a great addition to the team, and I know I speak on behalf of everyone that we're full of admiration for the way that you go about it. Getting training sessions done, no excuses, always on time, and race results are incredible. So
thank you.
Good job, and good luck in Geelong in a few weeks' time.
Thank you very much.
No worries.
Pleasure.
Thank you.
Ignore the fact that it could be plantar fasciitis, and sorry.
Here we go.
Last.
Who have we got here?
Last. Okay, sorry. I think
You're
we
right.
just pause that for without feeling bad. So, that's what we've now. I am blah 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 blah.
It's all good.
If it were a philosophical debate.
There's one for the outtakes. I don't think we get one, but we got one.
But it would